This is TV 13 Grand Rapids with studios in Muskegon and Grand Rapids.
Good evening, everyone. In this evening's news, Grand Rapids leukemia victim has her day at Disneyland. We'll have the exclusive first pictures. West Michigan meat scandal hearings again postponed. The visual report follows. And former President Eisenhower, released from the hospital today, talked about his health in the bombing of North Vietnam.
Visual News 13, brought to you by the 21 Yankee stores, where everything for everyday living costs less. Now here's Hal Douglas.
Vietnamese paratroopers have launched the most massive airborne assault of the war in Vietnam.
This is Eyewitness News with Tom Cezanne, Cal Wieringa, meteorologist Craig James, and sports director Henry Caponia. Now here's Tom.
Good evening. In tonight's news, General Motors officials today announced a massive new expansion program.
This is Eyewitness News with Jay Shadler, Susan Hayes, meteorologist Ted Rebus, and Steve Knight with sports. Now here's Jay.
Good evening, everyone. Iranians saw visual proof today on their televisions of the abortive U.S. rescue mission.
This is WZZM, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Now, from the Eyewitness News Center, this is Eyewitness News 13 with Lee Vanamy and Onward, meteorologist Bill Steffen, and sports with Bob Trimble. Eyewitness News 13 at 6.
Good evening. It is Monday, July 4th, and a story of world interest is topping our news tonight.
This is WZZM, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Now, from the Eyewitness News Center, this is Eyewitness News 13 at 6.
As we begin this Christmas weekend, there is little peace in at least two areas of the world, Romania and Panama.
You're watching WZZM TV 13, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Now, live from our West Michigan studios, this is the early edition of Eyewitness News 13.
On this Wednesday, September 23rd, a 16-year-old West Michigan girl claims she was kidnapped, beaten, and used as a slave for almost 2 months. Good evening, everyone. I'm Lee Vanamy.
And I'm Juliet Dragus. The North Muskegon girl who vanished in August has finally told West Michigan authorities the story surrounding her disappearance.
Now, live from our West Michigan studios, this is the late edition of Eyewitness News 13. Now, live from our West Michigan studios, this is the late edition of Eyewitness News 13.
You're watching WZZM 13 News, working for you in Grand Rapids and along the lakeshore.
From Grand Rapids and along the lakeshore, you're watching WZZM 13 News.
Good morning, West Michigan. It is Tuesday, July 11th. Welcome to the morning news.
From Grand Rapids and along the lakeshore, you're watching WZZM 13 News at noon.
More orange cones will soon be going up around downtown Grand Rapids.
You're watching Lauren Stanton, Chris Paul, and Linda Page on WZZM 13 News.
Take a look at this now.
From Grand Rapids and along the lakeshore, you're watching WZZM 13 News at 5:30.
I just can't imagine that it would even be a...
You're watching Kim Covington, Tracy Forner, and Bill Steffen on WZZM 13 News.
Well, take a look at that.
From Grand Rapids and along the lakeshore, you're watching WZZM 13 News at 6.
Well, it's in this.
You're watching Juliet Dragus, Lee Vanamy, and Bill Steffen on WZZM 13 News.
In news about Kent County.
From Grand Rapids and along the lakeshore, you're watching WZZM 13 News at 11.
Neighbors say it's an eyesore, and it's been this way for 2 years.
You're watching Juliet Dragus, Lee Vanamy, and Bill Steffen on WZZM 13 News.
13 News at 6.
Well, they are at a record high, but is this it, or will the price at the pumps go even higher?
WZZM 13 News starts now. WZZM 13 News starts now. From West Michigan's Information Center, WZZM 13 News. From West Michigan's Information Center, WZZM 13 News is on your side.
From West Michigan's Information Center, WZZM 13 News is on your side.
News is brought to you in high definition. WZZM 13 News is on your side. WZZM 13 News on your side.
I was leaving for work this morning about 3:45, and I come out and my vehicle was gone.
Happening now at 11, cars and guns are gone. Police believe a group of criminals may be responsible.
I'm meteorologist Laura Hartman. Rain is here for the overnight. We'll talk about when it moves out on Wednesday coming up.
They came here to support the fact that they don't want her.
But first tonight, a packed house in Newaygo for the library board meeting to get answers after embezzlement accusations. Good evening, everyone. I'm Nick LaFave.
And I'm Juliet Dragus.
You're watching 13 on your side.
Good morning, West Michigan. Time now 5 o'clock on the dot on this Thursday, October 18th. You're looking out at Grand Haven, and you can almost see the coldness. And as Aaron said earlier, all the mosquitoes just dying. They're gone. They're out of here.
They're all gone.
Welcome to 13 on your side mornings. I'm here with meteorologist Aaron Offsire, Dan Harlan, and myself, Aaron Franzak.
You're watching 13 on your side.
Good morning, West Michigan. I'm James.
And I'm Meredith, joined alongside meteorologist Laura Hartman. Thanks so much for starting your week with us.
Hello, everyone. I'm Juliet Dragus.
And I'm David Bailey. 13 on your side at 5 starts right now.
You're watching 13 on your side.
President Trump kept using one word today to describe the $1.3 trillion spending bill Congress sent him.
You're watching 13 on your side.
A scary end to the Grand Rapids Drive game last night at the Deltaplex. Drive forward Zeke Upshaw collapsing during the final minute of the game. Thanks for joining us. I'm Amar Abbas. Now Upshaw was rushed to Spectrum Hospital.
You're watching 13 on your side.
Good morning to you, West Michigan. Here's a live look at a beautiful downtown Grand Rapids. It's Saturday, December 5th.
You're watching 13 on your side.
And we begin tonight with the coronavirus surge that continues across the country.
Tonight, a disaster at one of the world's most visited landmarks, the fire at the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris.
A West Michigan foster parent is charged with rape. The victim, a child under the age of 13.
And periods of light rain throughout the week, but what will the weekend be like? We'll take a look at that coming up.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Nick LaFave.
I'm Juliet Dragus. 13 on your side at 6 starts right now. Within the past hour, we have learned that firefighters have saved the structure of the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris.
WZZM.